This is a live shot of Candlestick Park in San Francisco on a cold, windy afternoon in the city, of course, on Candlestick Point, where the 4-1 San Francisco 49ers will take on the undefeated Minnesota Vikings in this big Week 6 matchup. And hopefully we can actually go the full hour and a half and get everything in as we play the 1986 Pro Football Replay. Today, from Candlestick Park in San Francisco, it is the San Francisco 49ers and Minnesota Vikings, presented by DigitalDice.com, the number one podcast for your sports replay simulation and other cards and dice, console, and computer gaming needs. Find us on Spreaker, iTunes, and where other fine podcasts are listed. Well, if you told me a couple weeks ago that without Joe Montana and without, now I'm drawing a blank, it's not Jeff Kemp, that the San Francisco 49ers would be in front in the NFC West and have a 4-1 record, I would have wondered what you were drinking at least at lunchtime. But when we had the 49ers and Rams a couple weeks ago, the 49ers won pretty easily, as it turned out. So no Joe Montana, no Steve Young. That would come next year. Seemingly right now, no problem. The Vikings, I think, are the big surprise coming into this game. If you watched last week, and it's the lone game that we did before I got sick, the Minnesota Vikings went into Chicago and beat them. The Bears are a very good team, but the Vikings are the ones that are 5-0. So Minnesota and San Francisco, and hopefully the voice will hold up for the full game. Let's get to it, shall we? And San Francisco has lost the toss. As I hear sirens behind me, Minnesota will receive. How you doing, Robbie? So Minnesota will receive. They are in their white with the purple helmets and the white face masks, the numbers in purple. Bess is the man that stands on his 8-yard line. Rhymes and Rice, not Reason, are the up men at the 15. Minnesota will have the wind here in the first quarter, and it is a swirly 10 to 20 miles an hour on this late October afternoon in the city by the bay. Ray Wershing is ready to get this one underway, and it is taken at the 5 by Best to the 10, 20, 30. Tackled by Walter to 25-yard gain. So Rufus Best makes a good return. They're not coming to take me away. Tommy Kramer, who has completed 70% of his passes the first 5 games, is the quarterback for the Vikings. Darren Nelson, who has 349 yards on the ground, is the primary running back. Alan Rice is the secondary running back, or the fullback, if you will. Anthony Carter, 16 catches on the year, sits on the left at the top of your screen. Leo Lewis, back from his injury against Chicago, is the near side receiver, the split end. And Steve Jordan, who has 25 catches in 5 games, is the tight end. 1st and 10 for Minnesota from the 30. Trap left to Darren Nelson. First play from scrimmage, and Nelson tries to cut to the far sideline and is a gain of 2 before he's hit by Jeff Not Russell Stover. San Francisco comes into this game a 4-point favorite. And I suppose if you went through the reputation of these two teams in the 1980s, you would agree with that assessment. But that's why we played the games. The line for Minnesota is very good. Gary Zimmerman is the left tackle as another emergency vehicle passes by my house. Terry Tosh is your left guard. Dennis Swilly is your center. Jim Hoffer Howe is your right guard. And Tim Irwin is the right tackle. Alan Rice on 2nd and 8. Sweeps it to the near side from the 32-yard line and gets a block across the 35, and Dwayne Board With a stop at the 36, it'll be 3rd down and 4. On this opening drive, San Francisco was watching Leo Lewis. Defensively for the Niners, and there's a big hole out there today as Ronnie Lott is hurt. He is not playing. They play a 3-4. Jeff Stover is your left defensive end. Look at that face mask. Michael Carter is your defensive tackle. And Dwayne Board, who made the tackle on the last play, is the right end. Tina Turner, left outside linebacker. He's on Allen Rice and 29 tackles already. Jim Farnhorst is the left inside linebacker. Ricky Ellison is your right inside linebacker. Milt McCall is your right outside linebacker. Notice that they're all pretty even with 20-plus tackles 5 games into the season. Tim McKyer is your left corner, 3 interceptions on the year. He and Anthony Carter will butt heads all day. And Don Griffin is the right corner. The safeties, Carlton Williamson is your free safety. And Jeff Fuller is your strong safety. 3rd down and 4. Medium cross to Anthony Carter, and there's a flag down.
False start. Offense. Number 66.
It's tossed.
5-yard penalty.
And so it'll be 3rd and 9. And the Vikings will go to a 3 wide receiver set. Jones. Hassan Jones, up on the top of your screen, comes in as the 3rd receiver. Jordan, the tight end on a medium slant. Kramer waits to throw. He's got time. He's got Jordan open over the 40. Hit after a gain of 13 by Tom Holmo. And it's 1st and 10 from the Minnesota 44. Rice comes back in. And Nelson will sweep it to the left side from the 44. And San Francisco read that one like a good book. Farnhorst with a tackle at the 40, a loss of 4. So Minnesota's going to have to do something on the ground at some point. 2nd and long from the Minnesota 40. First drive of the football game. Trying Nelson on a draw play now. Hand off from Kramer. Nelson gets it to the 44, so it'll be back to the original line of scrimmage on this portion of downs. And Tom Holmo, who is a defensive back in the dime, makes his 2nd tackle. 3rd and 10. Hassan Jones. Ooh. No. Anthony Carter on a medium out. Kramer in the pocket. Throws, trying to check it down, and it's incomplete. So Michael Carter got a piece of it, and the Vikings, after a 6-play drive, are forced to punt. Greg Coleman will be the punter, and Don Griffin, is back to return for San Francisco. And they'll let this one roll inside the 10. And it will roll dead at about the 6-yard line. How about that? 50-yard punt, no return. 11:11 to go in the first quarter, and here comes Mike Morosky, who has completed 73% of his passes to get San Francisco started. Tom Rathman is the fullback, and Roger Craig has 262 yards in 5 games as the primary running back. Craig will take a sweep to the near side from the 6-yard line. Gets a block, but not much else than that. Studwell with a stop after a gain of 2, and Scott is Studley, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. San Francisco's offensive line is probably not Mr. Morosky's best friend. Injuries have really hurt San Francisco. Keith Farnhorst is fine. He's your left tackle. Randy Cross is the best of the bunch at left guard. Fred Quillen is your center. And here's where it kind of gets weak. Bruce Colley is your right guard. And Steve Wallace is the weakest link at right tackle. 2nd and 8. Flat pass to Craig. Let's see if Morosky has room to the far side, and that is almost intercepted. Harris got a piece of it. Roger Craig wants a flag.
Pass interference.
And he's going to get one.
Defense. Number 57, 5-yard penalty.
So Martin
Automatic first down.
interfered. John Harris deflected, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Niners on their own 13. Minnesota, by the way, plays... Oh, I never introduced the wide receivers, did I? Probably pretty big for San Francisco. Dwight Clark is the split end. He's at the top of your screen. 26 catches this year for 359 yards. Jerry Rice, just your average Hall of Fame best player ever in the history of the NFL. 22 catches, 383 yards. And Russ Francis is the tight end. 21 catches, 279 yards. Clark on a medium cross on first down. Morosky slow out of the pocket. This is trouble. He's rolling. He throws over the middle, and that's intercepted by Holt at the 26. Isaac Holt makes the first interception of Morosky. And Minnesota's knocking on the door from the 49ers 17. So you praise a guy, and he gets picked off. And that was a pretty easy pick. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings. 10:19 to go, first quarter. No score. Leo Lewis. Medium slant. One-play drive time. Kramer has all day. Checks it down to a running back, and it's a first down. Well, no, it's not. It's down to Darren Nelson, who got a gain of 10, but not 10. Math was never my strong suit. So 2nd down in an inch or so from the San Francisco 7. And now they go 2 tight end set. Anderson joins Nelson in the backfield. Alfred Anderson. Trap left. Gets from Kramer, and San Francisco says no. Now Leo Lewis is hurt, and his return is doubtful. So Anderson loses 2. It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 9. And they'll go back to a conventional set. Hassan Jones is now the main wide receiver with Anthony Carter. Short cross to Carter is the call. Kramer has time. He looks around. He tries to find Allen Rice, and that's a no-go. So Michael Carter hurried the pass, and so the optimism following the interception is now contingent on Chuck Nelson hitting this glorified extra point from 26 yards. There must be something good going on behind me here, because that's the 3rd emergency vehicle I've heard in about 10 minutes. 87% chance of making this with the wind. Wilson will hold. Swilly will snap. Kick is up. Kick is looking left, and it's no good. And San Francisco dodges a major bullet as the field goal is no good. 9:21 to go, first quarter, and there is no score between the San Francisco 49ers and Minnesota Vikings. Lord Craig, how are you? Dave Gardner doing the Purple People Eaters? No, he's not. And in fact, I think you would probably find that most football writers would say that it's weird because quarterback is a glamour position, but I would make the argument it's Jerry Rice. It's 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Medium cross to Rice. Morosky back to throw. He waits for Rice to run his pattern. He's got it, 35-yard line. Lee makes a tackle at the 40 for a gain of 20. So a good start on this drive for San Francisco. No rain in the forecast. Clear afternoon. You can see DC talking about from yesterday's game. 1st and 10. Craig, sweep left. from the 40. He gets the line down the sidelines across the 45, and Scott Studwell will knock him out the 47 for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd and 3. Well, that's why he had an 87% chance, Robbie. It means a 13% chance he missed it. So, 8:25 clock running here in the first quarter, 2nd and 3. Rathman in the flat, Morosky to the near side, and that's incomplete. So, Morosky 1 for 3 to start. 3rd down and 3 from the 47-yard line. Rathman will come out. Joe Cribbs comes in. Cribbs will try an off-tackle left, but somebody jumped.
Encroachment.
Oh, no.
Defense. Number 96.
It's
5-yard
Newton.
Penalty.
Oh, we haven't introduced the Minnesota defense yet, have we? Ha ha! I was wondering why. Uncle Ron's a little slow on the draw today. Mark Mullaney is your left defensive end for Minnesota. Keith Millard is the left defensive tackle. He's the best of that line. They play a 4-3. Tim Newton, who just made the penalty, is the right tackle. And Doug Martin is the right defensive end. The linebacker is at least an 86 our average. Chris Dolman can do either. He's the left outside linebacker. Scott Studwell is pretty good up the middle. He's going to be on Cribbs. And Chris Martin is your right outside linebacker. The corner is Isaac Holt, had a 2nd interception of the year. Carl Lee is on Jerry Rice. Please say a few novenas for him. Jerry Browner is the strong safety. He's on Russ Francis. There's 36 tackles this year already. And John Harris is the strong safety. 1st and 10. Trap right Roger Craig from the 48 of Minnesota, and he's hit at the 44, a gain of 4 by Chris Dolman. So 2nd and 6. It's like rolling a 20 on a D20. How you doing, Mr. Parks? So no score, first quarter, 8 to go between the Vikings and 49ers. Minnesota 5-0. And one of those 5 was that big win over Chicago last week. The Niners, kind of an easy division this year, although New Orleans is better. The Rams have quarterback issues. But San Francisco beat them on a broadcast a couple weeks ago, I think. It's been a long season already. Here's Dwight Clark. Medium hitch on 2nd and 6. Morosky back to throw. Clark's got it. And Holt will make the tackle after a gain of 14. 1st and 10 for San Francisco on the Viking 30. So this is a much better drive for the Niners. Cribbs. Short flat, 1st down, near side. Morosky quickly throws, and he threw it a little fast, and Cribbs couldn't get there. So Morosky, 2 for 5 for 34, about what you would expect. 2nd and 10. Clock stops, 6:54. Sweep left for Joe Cribbs, near sideline. Gets a block, only to the line of scrimmage. Scott Studwell sniffed that one out, and it'll be 3rd and 9 for the 49ers. From the Minnesota 29. So 3 wide receivers. Wilson is the 3rd one. Mike Wilson, 1 catch for 9 yards. He's on the near side of your screen along with Jerry Rice. And Rice will try a medium cross. Minnesota blitzes. Morosky waits. He throws. Rice has got it inside the 20. And Lee makes the tackle at the 11. So Rice got 6 after the catch. And it's 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Let's see. What can Francis do? Short slant to Russ Francis. Morosky throwing on 1st down. Rolls around. He goes down to Roger Craig, and he scores. He went to his second read, and Craig caught it at the 5 and ran it all the way in. So San Francisco gets first blood, 6-0. Here it is again. Francis just couldn't get free, and so Morosky had the wherewithal to find Roger Craig, and that was for 6. And the extra point from Wershing barely is good on the left. How about that? 5:21 first quarter. San Francisco 7, Minnesota nothing. Here he is, Mr. America. The ones watching this on tape are going to have no idea what the hell that was about. Clinton ever a customer in Atlantic City? So Porgy and Bess is back to return at the 8. Rhymes and Rice at the 15. And Wershing gets a boot on this and sends Bass back to his goal line. 10, 15, and he's hit at the 18 by Ellison, and that's where Minnesota will start this drive. 5:14 first quarter, 7-0 San Francisco. A long slant to Anthony Carter. They're going to try to gamble here. Kramer has time. He checks it down to a running back. First down over to the 30. And that's Alan Rice. He's hit by Keena Turner for a gain of 13. First and 10 from the Viking 31. Yeah, oh God. A bad game show host. True story. As you get me to drift off into Storyland here. Bert Parks did the initial pilot for the Hollywood Squares. You can find it on YouTube. It was shot for CBS, and it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Darren Nelson. No honorable. They stick with the call, and Kramer didn't like what he saw and calls timeout. I've never seen that. Anyway, so apparently to get the 3 games in, it took 5 hours to tape the pilot. And Parks just over-explained everything and was just absolutely god-awful. No, Keena Turner. So we'll do this again. Sweep right for Darren Nelson. From the 31 to the near sideline, cannot get a block. And Dwayne Board will knock him out after a loss of 3. And so, I don't know what else Bert Parks did, but game show host he just was so wrong for it. Can you see him asking him, Paul Lind, about why you wear leather on a motorcycle? 2nd and 13 for Minnesota from their own 28. Medium slant to the tight end, Jordan. San Francisco on a blitz. Kramer throws it into double coverage almost, and it's deflected by Carlton Williamson, and it's 3rd and 13. And you know why motorcycle men wear leather? See if anyone knows that old joke. 3rd down, and they go 3 wide receivers. Gustafson is by himself on the near side of the screen while Carter and Jones play up top. Carter on a medium hitch. Kramer rolls right, throws across his body, and that is tipped by Tim McKyer, incomplete. So Minnesota being stymied by a San Francisco defense that does not have Ronnie Lott available. And they will punt with a win. Greg Coleman is back on his 13. And Griffin is ready to return. He stands off about at his 25. Comes into his 30. Hit at the 35 by Evans. I'm not seeing anyone jump at the joke. And so one day on the Hollywood Squares, Peter Marshall asked Paul Lynn, why do men wear leather on a motorcycle? And Paul's response was because chiffon wrinkles. I'll be here all the week. Please try the veil. Craig and Cribbs in the backfield as we start this drive. Rice and Clark and Ronnie Francis, or Russ Francis, your tight end. Wrong sport for Ronnie Francis. Roger Craig will try to sweep one to the near side from the 35. Gets a little block into the 39 before Chris Martin makes the tackle. 2nd and 6 for San Francisco from their own 39. So Morosky 4-7 for 63. Short slant. Jerry Rice. Morosky rolls, hits his running back. I believe that's Craig. It is. It's a gain of 6, and it's a fresh set for San Francisco. So when in doubt, go to the second read, and that's exactly what Bill Walsh wants to see, is Morosky use his head. 1st and 10, San Francisco 45. Under 3 to go here in the opening quarter. Trap right for Joe Cribbs as he crosses the line, and Dolman stands him right up at the 45. 2nd down, and there'll be just about 2 minutes to go when this play starts. 2nd tackle for Dolman, and Cribbs has 2 yards, or 2 carries for a yard. So Minnesota doing what they can to make San Francisco throw the football. Short pass in the flat to Cribbs on the near side. This time it is a good one. Cribbs 45-50, 1st down, and Studwell makes the tackle at the 42. A gain of 13. And with 1:59 to go, the 49ers are back in the Viking territory. 4th tackle for Studwell. Morosky 6 of 9 for 82 yards. If you get home and wonder why your computer might be slow tonight, Windows has sent another update. So just kind of, I don't think it's going to be very long, but it's giving me the please reset me warning. And so I'll do that after the stream. So 1st and 10 for San Francisco. Clark on a short out. Morosky looks to the far sideline. Clark has got it. He tries to escape Isaac Holt for a gain of 8. Last week against the Colts, Clark caught 6 passes for 91 yards. This time he got 8 and has 2 today for 22. And you can see there that the Niners are averaging 402 yards a game, while the defense gives up 280.8. Craig, trap right on 2nd down from the 34. Craig turns the corner, gets a 1st down, and Browner makes the tackle at the 28. 1st tackle for Jerry, and that will be the end of the 1st quarter. 15 minutes in the books here. And San Francisco, it's the Niners 7, the Vikings nothing, and here is the Digital Dice stats and scoring summary from the 1st quarter. Morosky found Craig on a 2nd read to cap a 9-play, 80-yard drive, and that's it for the scoring. San Francisco dominating the line of scrimmage, and Morosky just continues to matriculate the ball down the field, boys. So 9 first downs for the 49ers to 2 for Minnesota. And the big difference is the Vikings only have 1 yard on 6 carries on the ground. San Francisco is 24 on 7. So from the 28, 1st and 10, now San Francisco has the win behind them. And if they need to, Ray Wershing could probably nail one here from 45. Medium out. Roger Craig. So Morosky rolls, looks, Craig has got it to the sideline, a 1st down, and Craig is taken out by Lee at the 11. He got away from Martin, and Lee made the 2nd tackle. So it's 1st and 10 from the Minnesota 11. 2 tight ends, Seth Rathman back in the ballgame as another running back. Craig will try a pitch to the near side from the 11. Waits for a block, does not get it. Millard hits him at the 9. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now Cribbs comes in the game. They'll keep him that 2 tight end set. Cribbs. Trap left. Near side from the 9. And nothing doing. Harris stands him up right there. So it'll be 3rd down and 8. See what Francis can do. Medium cross. Morosky has time. He waits for Francis. And nope, that's not going to do much of anything. That fell incomplete. And so San Francisco will bring out Ray Wershing for a 26-yard field goal attempt. Has an 84.4% chance. Morosky, the quarterback, will hold. Quinlan will snap it. And Wershing gets a boot on it and sends that one wide right. So, no automatic kicking games. Special teams have been anything but. It's 13-16 to go in the half. 7-0 San Francisco. So Nelson and Rice in the backfield. Carter and Jones the wide receivers, and Jordan the tight end. Jordan on a short slant on 1st down. And again, there's no tight end there to throw to. Kramer tried to find Rice. And Jerry or Allen, it wouldn't matter. So 2nd and 10. Not being sound in the kicking game, Mr. Tribe Fan, is exactly right. Darren Nelson off tackle right from the 20-yard line. This time he got some room, and Tim McKyer makes a tackle after a gain of 7. Allen Rice is the one that ripped open the big hole. And the Vikings, 3rd down and 3. Coming up. Under 13 to go. First half. 7-0 San Francisco. Jones on an end around. Nope. Screen to Rice on the audible. Cuts to the far side. Kramer throws, and that's incomplete. So San Francisco did blitz, and Tommy Kramer, who was all that in a bag of chips against the Bears last week, is 3 for 9 for 36 yards in the first half this week. And Greg Coleman comes out to punt, this time into the wind. He'll punt it deep. San Francisco will return a good field position as it rolls dead at the 35-yard line. 38-yard punt, no return. 12:06 to go, first half. 7-0 San Francisco. Cribbs off tackle left on 1st down. Flag is down. Lee makes the tackle after a gain of 3.
Offsides. Defense. Number 73.
Elshire.
5-yard penalty.
That sounds like, what's the name of it? Or Hillshire Farms, and since it's Minnesota, wouldn't that be some sort of smoked sausage? Elshire Farms remembers. Actually, it's Pepperidge Farms remembers. So 1st and 5 for the 49ers on their own 40. 12 to go in the first half. Rice on a long out. Going to try to bomb one. Morosky waits. He checks it down to Roger Craig. Instead, incomplete. And it'll be 2nd and 5. Craig will sweep it to the far side from there. Waits for a hole. Gets one because he's reaching for the first down, and he got his hand over it. Man, that is a Dave Gardner spot. He looked to be about a yard short. I can just hear Al Red Sox fan at the Al Red Sox fan world headquarters just twitching now with that. Because, wow, what a spot. First down for Craig at the San Francisco 45. Sports Time Machine, how are you? Yeah, Bartles and James was, thank you for your support. And when they went to advertise the other wine cooler, the one that never talked just didn't shut up. It's kind of like watching one of my videos. First and 10 from the 45 of San Francisco. They're going from right to left. Red jerseys with the stripes and the white numbers. And the gold helmet with the gray face mask. Morosky. First and 10. Trap right to Joe Cribbs. And Cribbs keeps the legs moving for 2 before Chris Dolman can bring him down. Second and 8. So 140 net yards for the Niners and 44 for the Vikings. 4 tackles, by the way, for Dolman. Cribbs will try this one in the flat near side. Morosky throws. Cribbs has it. 45-50. He won't get a first down. Scott Studwell makes a tackle after a gain of 7. So third and a short 1. Rathman now in a 2 tight end set. Will just take the Nestea plunge from the 46 and breaks through into the secondary. Studwell with a tackle at the 38. Gain of 8, first and 10, San Francisco. So Cribbs back there with Craig. Rice, Clark, and Francis, the receivers. After Rathman's quick hitter netted him 8. Francis. Short slant from Morosky. And again, he's going to have to go to another read. He gets it down to Roger Craig, who makes the catch at the 35 for a gain of 4. So the Vikings are doing a good job in making sure Francis can't get open, but Morosky just knows to look for Roger Craig. 4 catches, 38, and a score, the lone score of the game. 9:40 to go, first half. Cribbs will audible into a screen. Morosky waits. He goes across, and that's just not there. Millard is hurt. He'll be back. So the clock stops. 8:58 to go in the half, and it's 3rd and 6. That doesn't happen in any of their games, Robbie. Not quite sure why, but it's never been that way. So they'll look at Dwight Clark. Oof. Medium out. Morosky looks, throws, far sideline. Clark, 20, 10, 5, 6. Touchdown, Dwight Clark. A 34-yard catch, his longest of the year, puts the Niners up on the board again. And Dwight Clark, you can see, got separation. He was 5 yards away from his defender when he got the ball. And he just ran right to daylight. Extra point coming. And Wershing barely hits that, but it's good. So 8:48 to go in the first half. San Francisco 14, Minnesota nothing. Yes, Dave, it's Strat. So Porky Best is back to return it. Rhymes and Rice, the upmen. And this one will be 7 yards deep in the end zone. And Tommy Kramer will start this drive from his own 20. Oh, Lord, Craig, never worry about it. You too, buddy. So 1st and 10. Medium slant to Hassan Jones. Kramer slow getting out of the pocket. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Now Jordan. The tight end is gone for the game. Oh, no. So when it rains for Minnesota, it pours. Nelson will try a sweep to the right from the 20-yard line, and he gets a couple yards before McCall can make the tackle. 3rd and 8 from the Minnesota 22. The Vikings just haven't been able to get much more going on. Mike Mularkey, by the way, is the tight end. Carter on a medium slant. Kramer waits, throws. Carter's got it at the 40. So a gain of 18 gives Minnesota a fresh set. First catch for Anthony Carter. Tim McKyer with a second tackle. 1st and 10. Minnesota would like to get something out of this drive if they can. Nelson will try a sweep to the near side from the 40-yard line. 45. He will get 9. He thought he had the first down. McCall saved it. Tim Irwin, the right tackle, is the one that made the big block, and it's 2nd and 1. 7 to go, first half. Clock running. Rice on a dive play for the first down. He's going to get that and a bunch more. A gain of 6. Don Griffin with a tackle, and first down for Minnesota from the San Francisco 45. So 5 plays, 35 yards in 2.5 minutes. And Minnesota might be on to something. Mike Malarkey. Short cross on first down. Kramer throws. Malarkey dropped it. He had, I think it's one of those cases as he knew he had the first down and he looked downfield before the ball was secured in his hands, and it's 2nd down. Nelson. Trap left. Cuts across to the far side and is stood right up by Keith Ellison. And now Nelson is rubbing his knee. He's going to stay in the game. He takes some of that infamous San Francisco dirt and rubs it in there. But he's a sore puppy for sure. 3rd and 10 for the Vikings. Gustafson is the near side receiver. Carter and Jones up on the top of your screen. Kramer's going to go out of the gun. Medium out to Hassan Jones. And Kramer waits. He looks, he throws. He's got Jones inside for a first down at the 28. It's a gain of 18. They spot it at the 27. And Minnesota, under 5 to go, is pretty much setting up for a field goal. Anderson comes in to run, and that's just what they'll do. Off tackle right. Kramer out of the gun. Hand off to Anderson, 25. And Keena Turner makes a tackle at the 22 for a gain of 5. So good play there by Anderson. And Minnesota has it 2nd and 5 from the 49er 22. Kramer. Medium cross to Carter. Stands on his 30. Waits for the play to develop. And that is knocked down. Well, he tried to check it down to Anderson, and there was nothing doing. So Kramer on 3rd and 5. 5 for 14 for 72 yards. I'm going to try to check one down to Anderson in the flat to see if they can sneak for first down that way. They'll stick with it. They'll stay with the call. Anderson, not a chance. Incomplete. So here comes the kicker. And there's a 65% chance that this will be good from 39 yards. Chuck Nelson missed one from closer than this earlier in the game. This time he gets a boot on it and sends it straight true and good. The Vikings are on the board. 12 plays, 58 yards. 3:53 to go in the opening half. It's San Francisco 14, Minnesota 3. Crawford back deep for San Francisco. Monroe and Griffin, the upmen. And a reminder that San Francisco, this is an onside kick. How about that? And Minnesota recovered it. Ho, ho, ho. Wowzers. And so how about that? You don't see that very often in the first half. I don't call what they do on the kickoff. That wasn't me, because as soon as it's a kickoff formation, I take over the other team. So the AI dropped an onside kick, and Minnesota takes over on their own 49. Let's watch it again. And San Francisco thought they had it. They do not. Short slant. Hassan Jones. Kramer looks and is hit by McCall for a loss of 5. So first sack for San Francisco. Darren Nelson sweeps to the right on 2nd and 15 from the 44. Gets it across midfield into San Francisco territory. Farnhorst knocks him down after a gain of 11. Off of a comeback in a few plays. He ripped open the big hole and got his thumb stepped on in the process. So you don't want to be looking at that thumb really carefully if you're a TV camera. 3rd down and 4. Clock is stopped. 2:53 to go in the first half. Medium slant. Hassan Jones. Kramer has time over the middle. Jones has got it. Griffin makes the tackle after a gain of 18. 1st and 10 from the 27 of San Francisco. So Kramer's starting to get some momentum. 2:45 to go in the half. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. And Minnesota's a tired bunch. Brown comes in as a setback for the Vikings. He will try a sweep to the far side from the 27. Gets it to 25-20. 1st down and more. 10-5. Touchdown. Touchdown. The onside call worked as Ted Brown runs it for 27 yards and a score. And just like that, 4 plays, 51 yards, a minute 40. It's a 4-point game. Here it is again. Brown just followed the seam, and that seam found pay dirt, some garlic fries, and a couple tickets to Six Flags. Extra point is good. So Nelson converts. 2:05 to go in the half. It's 14-10, San Francisco. So again, what I was saying before, Crawford back deep. Monroe and Griffin are the up men, and San Francisco will get the ball to start the second half. Nelson to Crawford at the 5. 20, 30, no, not quite. 28, Best with the tackle.
Holding, receiving team.
All coming back. Hardy with a penalty. That's the first on San Francisco. The Vikings have 4 for 20. So 1:57 as we hit the 2-minute warning. San Francisco 14, Minnesota 10. Clark on a medium out. Morosky waits, throws. He tried for Craig, and Craig couldn't get there. 2nd down. 1:51 to go in the half. Craig in the flat, cuts to the far sideline. He's got it. Now, does he have any room? 15-20, 1st down. Martin with a stop at the 24. Give him 12, and let's see what I want to do here. 1:44. They'll go hurry up. Medium cross to Ross Francis. Morosky waits, throws. Francis runs the route. Francis can't get it. It's off his hands. It's technically a drop. 2nd and 10, 1:26 to go from the 24. They do have the wind, and so they can get it 10, 20, 30, 45 more yards. You might send Wershing out there for the field goal. Medium out to Rice. Morosky waits, throws down the sideline. It's a caught, 40-yard line. Rice gets out of bounds at the 43. It's a gain of 19. 3 catches, 57 yards. And from their own 43 now, you're going to try to... You got 3 timeouts. You can get points. Francis. Short cross. Morosky, this might be trouble. This is definitely going to be trouble. He's running around like a fire drill, and it's intercepted by Holt. He tried to dump it to Craig, Martin tipped it right in the waiting arms of Isaac Holt. And so with 1:07 to go, Minnesota, with 2 timeouts left and the ball at midfield, have a chance to take the lead with a touchdown. Kramer looking at Anthony Carter. Medium out. Kramer, well protected. Now he's not scrambling, and he's hit by Ellison at the 48. So it's a gain of 3. They can stop it twice. They're going to run a hurry up. Short, flat pass to Rice in the far sideline. Rice will not get it. They double covered him, and it's now 3rd and 7. Gustafson can make a catch. Short cross is the call. Kramer waits, checks it down to a running back, and it's a gain of 6. Anderson had it. And Minnesota, with 35 seconds on a 4th and 1, will take a timeout to think about it. Yeah, another long game. No, because sometimes it's a sack. And so not necessarily. Sometimes that football will flash red. You know the turnover's coming. Again, we do 120, 130 plays a game, and there might be 1 or 2 I'm tipped off at beforehand. I'm not that worried about it. 35 seconds left. Gustafson, again. Short slant. They're going to go. Kramer, back throws, complete for a first down, and Fuller got him at the 27, a gain of 15. They can run 2 plays here. They're not going to take it yet. Anthony Carter on a medium cross. Kramer waits, throws, incomplete. 8 seconds left. And now I guess you just bring it. Took too much time. 8 for 20 for 111. Keena Turner made the deflection. And they can't run 2. So Chuck Nelson, 58% chance, will come out to try to give Minnesota some points. Straight, true, and good. He hit it from 44 into the wind and makes up for that missed field goal earlier. 4 seconds to go in the half, 14-13. And the kick is taken by Griffin, and Crawford rather, and that will be the end of the first half. So San Francisco will receive. And here's the summary. It has been taking a while longer. Yeah, we're usually in the 3rd quarter by now. And I don't think I've been all that chatty. So the scoring in the 2nd quarter, Morosky to Clark from 34, made it 14-0. Then Nelson with a field goal from 39 to make it 14-3. Ted Brown, a 27-yard run with 2:05 to go, made it 14-10. And so the onside kick got Minnesota 10 points, and Nelson at the gun pretty much made it 14-13. Okay, so here we go. 14-13 San Francisco. And you see the stats and stories presented by DigitalDice.com. The best podcast for your sports simulation replays, consoles, and whatever else you love about sports and gaming. Show on Spreaker, on iTunes, and wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So San Francisco will return. Crawford stands on his 8. Monroe and Griffin are on their 15. Nelson puts a foot on the ball, taken by an Upman at the 8. He gets to the 20, and it's Monroe, and that's where the second half will start. So Craig and Cribbs in the backfield, Rice and Clark the receivers, Russ Francis the tight end. Farnhorst, Cross, Quillen, Colley, and Wallace are your line from left to right. Craig will sweep it to the left to the near side on first down. He is hit behind the line by Scott Studwell for a loss of 2. So Martin and Mulaney are your defensive ends for Minnesota. Millard and Newton the tackles. The linebackers, Martin, Studwell, and Dolman from left to right. Holt and Mr. Lee are your corners. Browner and Harris the safeties. Cribbs, sweeps to the near side from the 18, and that will get him a bunch. 25. He's reaching. He got 11. He won't get the first down, but it makes it 3rd and 1. And the Niners are 3 for 4 on 3rd downs this afternoon. Clark. Short out. Morosky hoping to catch Minnesota in a run D. Clark has it. A gain of 11. That's exactly what they did. They were expecting Roger Craig, and Dwight Clark gets the first down. Spot it at the 40. Trying to find a comfortable position. 1st and 10. Opening drive, second half. San Francisco hanging on by a point. 14-13. Francis. Short hitch to the tight end. Morosky waits. Checks it this time down to Cribbs, I believe. Yep, gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 49er 44. So the 49ers, 248 net yards. But 2 turnovers have been costly. Craig. Trap right from the 44-yard line. Gets it across the 45. Dolman with the stop after a gain of 3. 3rd and 3. So Craig, 9 carries, 31 yards. And let's see what we're going to do here on 3rd down. Rice. Medium fly. Morosky has company in the backfield already. He checks it down. This time it's to Cribbs at midfield, and Joe Cribbs is hit at the 43. So again, Morosky is very good at hitting the secondary read, and it's a fresh set for San Francisco. Opening drive, 11 and change to go. Rice. Medium fly on 1st and 10. Morosky's going to scramble. The ball is loose, but Colley will recover it, the right guard. Following the sack, Keith Millard will get credit for it. 2nd and 12 from the 45. So a loss of 2, but they keep the football. Craig off tackle right. Gets his block almost to the 40. Isaac Holt's holding his groin. He'll be back. 3rd and 7. From the 40-yard line. And they are not in Ray Wersching territory yet. 3rd down. Clark on a medium slant. Morosky's going to have to... he's hit from behind by Studwell, and Keith Farnhorst recovers it. So the Minnesota line showing some good aggression, and that's going to force a punt. And both of those fumbles, you put on the line. Max Runniger comes out to punt. I believe it's the first time today we've seen him. Going to aim for the sideline. Bess is back to punt, or receive it, and that'll go out of bounds at the 17. 29-yard punt, no return. Minnesota down by 1. 9:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. So, Brown and Rice, that sounds like a healthy dish if you ask me. Nelson and Rice come in. Anthony Kiter and Hassan Jones, the wide receivers, and Mike Malarkey is your tight end. Malarkey, nope, not doing that. Sweep right for Darren Nelson from the 17. Gets it to the 20, gets into the secondary. Carlton Williamson makes the tackle after a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 as Terry Tosh, the left guard, made that block possible. So good start. Kramer, a slow first half. 8 of 20 for 111, but Minnesota in the second quarter took advantage of the chances they had. Allen Rice. Dive play from the 25. Just keeps the legs moving. McCall makes a tackle at the 27. 1st and 10. So Rice, 3 carries, 12 yards. And Minnesota about halfway home here in the third quarter. As we cross the 1 o'clock hour, and since this would be a CBS game, 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety, except for on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Tonight, CBS reports after the game, or after 60 Minutes, on the mysterious wave of deaths that have crushed Cabot Cove, Maine. Is an old lady responsible for such death and carnage in the midst of bucolic New England? Find out tonight. And then at 9 o'clock, a special event for the whole family. The sound of snoring as Uncle Ron takes a nap for your dancing and dining pleasure, starring Julie Andrews, who will stuff cotton in her ears for 2 hours. That's tonight on CBS, following the football game. Medium slant to Hassan Jones on first down. Kramer looks around. He throws. He's got his man open, Jones, at the 44. He's hit by Griffin at the 45. 1st and 10. So Hassan Jones, in for an injured Leo Lewis, has made some hay. 3 catches for 54. And it's 1st and 10 from the Viking 45. Nelson. Trap left. Tries to cut to the far sideline and is cut down by Williamson at the 46, and Leo Lewis is coming back in. So Kramer gets his number 2 receiver back just in the nick of time. 1-point game, 14-13 San Francisco, 6:53 to go. And they'll go to Lewis right away. I need 9? Okay. On a medium cross, Kramer waits, throws. Incomplete. Williamson got a hand in there, and now it's 3rd and 9. Well, of course 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety after the game tonight. Tonight, Harry Reisner will apologize to Barbara Walters for 20 minutes. Ed Bradley will get all gushy again over Lena Horne. And Mike Wallace has found some tax cheats in the Cayman Islands. That's tonight on 60 Minutes. Screenplay to Darren Nelson on the near side because Uncle Ron forgot what down it was. Caught 45 over midfield. He's reaching for the first down. He's going to get it. He needed 9 and got 10. Tim McKyer with the tackle. 1st and 10. Under 6 to go here in the third quarter. Again, Leo Lewis on a medium cross on first down. Kramer rolls to his right, throws over the middle, and can't find Lewis. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the San Francisco 44. Clock stop, 5:20 to go. Allen Rice. And they're going to audible out of this one. Screen to Rice on the far side. This looks trouble. That just was nothing. Ellison was all over Rice as if he was a San Francisco treat, but they pick it up. Well, Red Sox fan says, I want nothing to do with that. 3rd and 10 now for the Vikings on the 44 of the 49ers. 3 wide. Hassan Jones comes back in. He's up at the top with Anthony Carter. Lewis is split down with Malarkey, the tight end. Need 10. Jones, short slant. Kramer looks, throws over the middle. It is caught by Jones for a first down. He needed 10. He got 12. And this 9-play, 51-yard drive has the Vikings with 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 32. So 4 catches for 66 yards from Jones. Alfred Anderson. Trap left, lone setback, and he got nowhere. In fact, he's hurt. And his return is probable, so the clock will stop 4:19 to go. 2nd and 11. Ted Brown is now in the setback, but they'll go back to a conventional set. Nelson and Rice. Carter. Medium slant. Kramer waits, runs 30. He'll get 3 yards. McCall with the tackle, and it's 3rd and 8. Again, they go 3 wide. Brown is back there with Kramer, who will now work out of the gun. Brown will block. Medium cross. Anthony Carter. Kramer is timed. Kramer throws. Carter, 10-5, touchdown Minnesota. Anthony Carter with a huge play. And the Vikings go ahead 19-14. Here it is again. They gave him the protection, and Carter just didn't have anybody within the last 12 yards. So 2 catches for 48 and a score for Anthony Carter. And the extra point from Chuck Nelson gives the 49ers a full Nelson. 12 plays, 83 yards, 3 off the clock. Minnesota 20, San Francisco 14. Andy Rooney. It is Andy Rooney. Should we really consider Ron snoring as good ambiance for anything? Well, it depends. You know, if you got a teenage daughter that you might think may be up to no good, a couple hours of Uncle Ron snoring on camera would take anybody out of the mood. Uncle Ron snoring on camera, killing sex drives for people for 47 years. People leaving the stream in droves now. It'll be Crawford back deep with Monroe and Griffin. And Nelson puts this one away. Crawford at the goal line. 10, 15, 20. And Gugamos with a stop at the 21. So San Francisco begins now for the first time behind. 3:20 to go in the third quarter. And they start from the 21. And it's a case of the... Yes, it is. It's exactly something. No, you're right. I'm a serious snorer. And before the medical people get after me, I've been sleeping with the fan on for the apnea for a long time. Also lost a lot of weight. Clark on a medium slant on first down. Morosky waits, throws. Clark's got it. And it's a gain of 14. Isaac Holt with an immediate tackle. 1st and 10 from the 35 of San Francisco. Yeah, you do. It's important to get that body paint to dry properly at night, Dave. Sometimes it can be just a little liquidy. Roger Craig, 1st and 10 from the 35. Trap right. And that's across the 35, and Chris Dolman will hit him at the 39. Mullaney is hurt for Minnesota. The right end, and Elshire comes in. Yeah, it's hard to sleep if it's not dry. So, 2nd and 6 for the Niners, and the clock is stopped with 2:31. A good game here. Glad I picked it. We will either go tomorrow night or on tape for game number 3, the Jets and the Patriots. The wifey's home tomorrow, and I'm going to try to grab some lunch with her, so you don't get me at noon tomorrow. Francis. Medium cross on 2nd and 6. Morosky waits. He throws down, and he tried to find Cribbs, and that went nowhere. So 3rd down and 6. Does Ron do the... Ooh. Does Ron do the Andy Rooney segment? Do you ever wonder why they would always put someone so curmudgeonly at the end of the show? I've often asked myself that question while sitting in the stands at Yankee Stadium waiting for the Giants to come back from New Jersey. Do you ever just wonder why they had someone cranky to go through and show you cans of coffee and how I keep change and bacon grease in them? Not even on cold medicine, gang. 3rd and 6. Francis on a short cross, but that's going to come back immediately.
False start. Offense, number 56.
Because the center rocked in his stance and got called for a false start.
Down.
And so it's 3rd and 11 from the 49er 34. Wilson joins Rice and Clark. Wilson's with Rice, and Clark is on his own with Francis. Split high to the right. Mike Wilson on a medium hitch. Morosky, there's a flag down. He goes to the sidelines. It is caught by Wilson. It's a first down if it holds.
Encroachment.
And
defense.
it will hold because it's on
5-yard
Minnesota.
Penalty.
So not only that, but with 2:19 to go in the third quarter, the clock stops. 13-yard gain. And 1st and 10 from the 49er 47. Craig in the flat on first down. Morosky flips it around. Craig goes the other way over midfield, and Martin knocks him down for a gain of 8. Now Minnesota gets Alfred Anderson and Mulaney back. 2nd and 2. So a little trickery there from San Francisco. Gains 8. Oh, Dave Gardner's unsubbing. That's okay. I threw out my Subway tokens a long time ago. Joe Cribbs. Trap left from the 45, and he's just short. Didn't get it. 3rd down and inches. So 6 plays, 36 yards on this drive. 2:06 to go here in the third. San Francisco trailing by 6 here at the end of the third quarter. Roger Craig will just do the fullback dive thing. He waits for the C's to part, and he got it. Now Harris is hurt for Minnesota, the nickelback. His hurt his foot kind of on this quick sandy turf here in San Francisco. They would have just put down the grass over where the infield was, and to be honest, that would be on the right side of the field. Because the Giants season is over. Not be the case in 87, of course. And so he just kind of twisted his ankle just a touch. He'll be back. So 1st and 10 for the 49ers from the Minnesota 42. End of the third quarter coming up. Rice. Medium slant. Morosky. Waits, throws. Rice got it. 30-yard line. 25. Lee makes the tackle at the 24. And Chris Dolman is rubbing some of that dirt onto his knee. He will hobble to the sideline, and the clock is stopped with 1:14 to go. So 20-14 Minnesota. San Francisco driving here at the end of the third quarter. Cribbs. Trap right. From the 24. 20. Holt with a tackle after a gain of 5, and Harris is back for Minnesota. 1:04 left to go in the third. Ball sitting on the 19 of Minnesota. Francis. Short cross on 2nd and 5. Morosky throws into double coverage, and Browner jumped the route. And so 30 seconds to go. 3rd and 5. Remember, it's the third quarter, so San Francisco doesn't need 6 here. They'd like it, but they don't need it. Clark on a medium cross. Morosky waits for Clark, checks it down to Craig instead, and Roger takes it down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 9, and we played 3 quarters. Uncle Ron needs a drink. Buckle up for safety, folks. The last 15 minutes coming right up. Your score, Minnesota 20, San Francisco 14. This is Football Replay 86, Week 6 on Retro Sports Network. So the yardage, 332 for San Francisco, 260 for Minnesota. Kramer with a better third quarter, and Morosky just is kind of like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going, and you don't realize that he's 21 for 32 for 270. So first and goal from the 10. Cribbs. Off tackle right. 15 minutes to go, and he is stacked by Newton for a loss of 2. So 12 plays, 67 yards, 326, and now San Francisco really wants the touchdown. Cribbs, 8 carries, 19 yards. Rice on a short cross. Morosky waits, throws down to Rice. Touchdown, San Francisco. He caught it at the 3. He waltzed right in for 6 and stole your hearts along the way. So here it is again. Morosky just found him at the 5, actually. And Rice just, 5 big strides for 6 big points. Wershing with the extra point. 13 plays, 79 yards, and it's blocked. Mulaney blocked the extra point, and we are tied at 20. So for the second game in a row on this channel, we've had a blocked extra point. Max and Dejas had one blocked in the Dallas game, and now Wershing is blocked today. So the score with 14-14 to play in regulation time, Minnesota 20, San Francisco 20. Bess, Rhymes, and Rice, the return men. Wershing to Best at the 2. 10, 20, 3-yard line. Walter with the tackle, 21-yard return. So Kramer is 12 of 27 for a $181. 14:08. Tie ball game, 20 up. Sweep right for Darren Nelson. Near sideline from the 23 and not going to get anywhere. The good news is Chris Dolman's ready. The bad news is it's 2nd and 13. Running has not been the forte of either team this afternoon. Malarkey on a short slant. Kramer has to throw in a hurry, incomplete. So Kramer just is shaking his head out there. I wouldn't say it's the Joe Ferguson Bob, but it's pretty close. 3rd down and 13. Hassan Jones is the third receiver. He's up with Anthony Carter. Leo Lewis on a medium hitch. Kramer looks to the near sideline. Flag is down. Pass is incomplete. And because he was throwing to...
Offense, number 66, 10-yard penalty.
He actually got away with intentional grounding because Tausch made the hold. And so Minnesota will punt from their own 20. 3 and out by the San Francisco defense. And Uncle Ron hit the wrong button because really, you wanted to see that play again. Greg Coleman with the wind behind him will boom this to the 30. And there's a flag down. It's Griffin. It's a 4-yard return.
Holding. Receiving team. 10-yard penalty.
So San Francisco starts this drive from their own 19. 13:06 to go in the football game. 2020. We'll be in touch so you can be in touch. Rice on an end around. Let's see if Minnesota picked it up. Yes, they do. Oh, my goodness, Scott Studwell. They had Rice doubled, and Scott Studwell has his 10th tackle. And so Rice went nowhere. That's what you get for ordering rice at a poutine restaurant. 2nd and 10 from the 19 of San Francisco. Cribbs. Off tackle right from the 19. Another flag is down. He's hit at the 23 by Holt.
Encroachment defense. Number 44.
But Harris,
5-yard penalty.
how in the world does the free safety get called for encroachment? We're playing a 4-3 basic. Sometimes you got to wonder about the random number generator. 2nd and 5 for San Francisco. Sweep right for Roger Craig to the far side. He gets a block, first down across the 30, and Newton will bring him down to the 31-yard line. Quillen with the big hole for San Francisco. 1st and 10 from their own 31. 12:06 to go, regulation time. Clark. Medium out. Morosky rolling, sacked by Studwell. And Studwell has put on a clinic. 11 tackles, 2 sacks. And it is 2nd and 15. Craig in the flat, far side. Morosky finds him. 22, 25, 30, 40. Is it a first down? Yes, it is. He needed 15 and got 15. And for Craig, 8 catches for 82 yards. 1st and 10 from the Niner 41. 20-20 the score. Clock running, about 10 to go. Medium slant. Jerry Rice. Morosky will roll. There's a flag down. He throws it across the field for Cribbs. Nope.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense.
Oh, what a dumb penalty.
Penalty. Automatic.
What a dumb
down.
penalty. You're going to put the ball now in Minnesota territory. So Morosky, 23 of 35 for 297 and 3 scores. And following the bad flag, it's 1st and 10 from the 44. Cribbs. Dive play. And he gets it to the 39 before Martin can make the tackle. That's 8 for Chris. 2nd and 5. Rice. Medium cross. Morosky has time. He waits. Flag is down. And let's see what that is. It's an incomplete pass.
Pass interference. Defense.
Another one.
Automatic. First
because
down.
Lee interfered with Rice. The last thing that San Francisco needs, if you're a Viking fan, is to give them yards. And Minnesota has given them 28 on this drive on penalty flags. Craig. Trap right from the 26. 25-20. Mulaney makes a tackle at the 17, give him a gain of 9. And San Francisco has it on the 17 in Minnesota with 8 and change to go. 2nd and 1. Rathman back in the ball game. Dave left, I think, after that one. Rathman. Trap left on 2nd and 1. He gets the first down. He got 4. Harris tripped him up at the 13, and San Francisco, 9 plays, 68 yards, knocking on the door again. Rathman, short pass in the flat, near side. Morosky finds him, 10, 5, touchdown. That was the right call. Harris missed him, Rathman scores. From 13 yards, so Morosky is now thrown for 310. Now 4 touchdown passes, 24 for 35. Here it is again. And Rathman just ran down that near sideline and got in for 6. Wershing the extra point. This time it's good, and it's 27-20. 7:29 to go in regulation. Hold on to your hats. It's 27-20 San Francisco. Bess from his 10. That's a short kick. 20, 30, 5, 40. And it's hit at the 43 by Holmo. And so Minnesota is working with a short field. 1st and 10. Halfway home here in the 4th quarter. The possibility of overtime looming large. Carter on a medium out. Kramer looks far sideline. Carter's got it. 40. 33-yard line. Tim McKyer will shove him out of bounds. And Minnesota's knocking on the door. Remember, they got the win behind them. They can get points. Nilsson. Sweep near side from the 33. And Dwayne Board says nothing doing. 13 carries for Nelson for 34 yards. Both teams have not run the football all that effectively this afternoon. 2nd and 10. 33-yard line, clock running. Rice will try an off tackle to the right from the 33. He slips past one. McKyer makes the tackle. Leo Lewis comes out again. And Hassan Jones back in the game. So the clock will stop. 6:27 to go. 3rd and 7 from the San Francisco 30. Short slant. Hassan Jones. And Kramer's in trouble here. Will he throw it away? He throws over the middle. Intercepted by Don Griffin. He jumped the route. He picked it off. And he falls down, so you can't call him a weeble wobble, for a gain of 2. So San Francisco, with 6:20 to go, has the football at their own 24. Not a great pass by Kramer. And for the first time today, Minnesota turns it over. And you could not have picked a worse time to do it. Roger Craig. Trap right. 1st and 10, 24. 25. Holt with a tackle up to 30. It's a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 for the 49ers. Rathman. Trap right from the 30. 1st down and more. 40-yard line. Browner with a tackle after a gain of 11. And the 49ers can play some Pac-Man football and gobble up that clock. Spot it at the 41. Jerry Browner, a 2nd tackle. Craig. Off tackle right from the 41. Gets a little bit of a seam. Keith Millard with the tackle. Now Rathman's hurt and he's done. That's not what San Francisco wanted. So Joe Cribbs is back in the game. 2nd and 7 from the San Francisco 44. Clock stop, 4:47 to go. Short slant. Dwight Clark. Borowski waits. Clark over the middle's got it. 1st down 40. 35-30. 25-20. 10-5. And Harris saves a touchdown at the 2-yard line. Dwight Clark, 54 yards, 6 carries, 135 yards. They were just looking for the 1st down. That was a possession route or route. And Dwight Clark almost sprung it for the 6. Here it is again. Minnesota just failed to cover him. They tried to get him there, and then Harris, with a 2nd effort, saved the 6. 1st and goal from the Viking 2. 2 tight end set. Frank is the other one. Craig. Just dive it up the middle. He does, and that's 6. So the Vikings need a miracle as San Francisco makes it 33-20 with 3:50 to go. 5 plays, 76 yards in 2.5 minutes. Morosky gave it to Craig, and that was all they needed. So Morosky, 25 of 36 for 364 yards. Extra point from Warshing is good. So Minnesota needs 14 points, and they have 3:50 to do it. We'll come back with the conclusion of this game right after Uncle Ron takes a drink. Bess from the 8. 20, 30. Hit by Ferrari, and I think sometimes you feel like you have been hit by a Ferrari when you play the 49ers. So that's where Minnesota starts at their own 30, 3:39 to go. 3 wide receivers, and Anderson the setback. How you doing, Dave Little? 34-20, San Francisco. San Francisco was ahead in this game. 14-3, and they fell behind, or they were tied, right? No, they fell behind 20-14, and San Francisco has answered with 20 points in a row, consecutive. That's the word I'm looking for. Or unanswered. That's the word I was looking for. Morosky to Rice, Morosky to Rathman, and then Roger Craig. And the Niners have 466 yards of offense. Malarkey. Oof. Jones. Excuse me. Medium slant on 1st and 10. Kramer has time. He flips it down, and it's caught by Jones at the 48. Gain of 18. Hassan Jones, a season-high 84 yards on the game. 1st and 10. They'll go hurry up. Carter. Medium out. Kramer waits. He looks towards the sideline. He's got Carter. Carter cuts back in. It's a gain of 15. Leo Lewis comes back in. For Carter, 4 catches, 87 yards. They stay in the hurry up. Kramer under center. 3:08 to go. Lewis. Medium out from the San Francisco 37. Kramer is blindsided by Charles Haley. Oh my goodness, he never saw him coming, and Haley sopped him up like gravy on a biscuit. Oh my goodness, a loss of 11 on the play, 2nd and 21 from the San Francisco 48. Anderson in the flat, just get it out of your hands. He does, midfield, 45-40, 35. Turner with the tackle, a gain of 13, clock running. Well, so hope your lunch is good. 3rd down and 8. Lewis. Again, a medium out. Kramer has time. He throws down to Lewis on the sideline. Got it. And Griffin makes the tackle after a gain of 20. And so 1:58 to go. And it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings from the San Francisco 15. All 3 timeouts. So Kramer, 5 plays, 55 yards, and $141. Jones. Medium cross. Kramer tripped coming out of the backfield. He's going to go left. He's going to throw across the field, and that's going to be intercepted by Homo in the end zone. He brought it out at the 2. He was almost on the back line. I don't know why he got away with getting out of the end zone. Here it is again. There's 1:46 on the clock, by the way. This should be the dagger. Why in the world he tried to run it out, I don't know. So from the San Francisco 2, you got to run the football. Rice is in there as a blocking back. Cribbs. Draw play from the 2-yard line. Gets it out to the 7 and lead with the tackle, and Minnesota will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So Roger, what? So Roger, I guess I'm going to have to run Joe Cribbs. I've been trying to put Roger Craig in. Cribbs on a dive play from the 7. He gets it to the 9. And Minnesota will call their one timeout left. 3rd and 3. And out of the shadow of their own end zone, they now could conceivably pass if I wanted to. Yeah, that was a big play. 473 yards for San Francisco on the afternoon. 3rd down and 3. And they look to Jerry Rice. Short slant. Morosky back in his end zone. Throws. It is caught for a first down by Jerry Rice. And that will seal the deal. A gain of 11. And Minnesota is not stopping the clock. It would be helpful if I hit the right button. Morosky will follow in the victory formation. Minnesota will not stop the clock. And so San Francisco is going to win this game. 34-20. 3 unanswered touchdowns in the second half. And we are out of unbeaten and untied teams in the NFL. Washington is now 5-0-1, and they will have the best record going into Week 7. Dolman will hit Morosky. Will Minnesota take time? No. And that is the football game. The final score, an entertaining affair here in San Francisco. The 49ers go to 5-1. They knocked the Vikings off the undefeated perch, 30-24. And your MVP is going to be again Morosky, 26 for 37 for 375 yards. San Francisco ran the ball okay, and of course Jerry Rice, 6 catches for 98, but how about Dwight Clark sealing the deal with that 54-yarder to set up that last touchdown. Tommy Kramer just was never there today, 271, but 17 for 36, and San Francisco just did not allow Minnesota anything on the ground. With the exception of the Ted Brown touchdown run. McCall, Griffin, and McKyer, 6 tackles apiece. McCall and Haley with sacks. Board with 2 stuffs, 3 hurries, and the interceptions belong to Holmo and Griffin. For Minnesota, Scott Studwell, 11 tackles, 2 sacks, a defensive pass, a stuff, and a forced fumble. Isaac Holt with 2 interceptions. Fourth quarter was all San Francisco. 2 touchdown passes, 1 to Rice, 1 to Rathman, and Craig, kind of an unexpected one, to close the scoring. And because the Niners had 482 net yards, they went 9 for 11 on 3rd down. That is effective football. It's kind of scary just how good this team is without Joe Montana or Ronnie Lott. And Minnesota is a good team. We had them last week against Chicago, and that was a legitimate win. So that's how the NFC will shape out this week. Tomorrow or Saturday, or some point on tape, it'll be the Jets and the Patriots as they battle for first place in the AFC East. Thanks for staying along with us. I'm Ron Juckett. Till next time. Have yourself a great afternoon.